I've been going to Srinigar and Leh for over 10 years, always by plane. I've always wanted to go by road, out to the Kashmir Valley, into the Himalayas, the highest mountains and the highest passes on earth. Nate joined me for the trip, and this is what happened. Flew up from New Delhi to Srinagar. We met up with Lance in the airport. He came in from Jammu, and Greg picked us up. And the first stop was for a coffee and a pizza in our favorite coffee shop. Signed a petition to stop Dal Lake shrinking due to pollution, and then onto the lake. Just can't visit Kashmir without spending time in Srinagar and staying on a legendary houseboat. This unique Kashmiri tradition of gracious waterside living originated with the first British residents of Kashmir. In order to prevent them from assuming power, the Maharaja of Kashmir forbade the British to own land. Their solution was to build their own residences on water, with the houseboats evolving from modest floating homes to veritable floating palaces. We're having a good time here, and Lance is taking the pictures.
And I left my charger at home, my video camera.
Greg told us later that there was a camera shop in town that might be able to help. The houseboat was the third different one I've been on. It was very nice. With nice views out of the window across the lake. On the houseboat, and just came on the shikara and the usual welcome cup of tea. Then off to explore a little of this legendary place. Certainly a different experience. We then got a chance to visit the home of one of my friends there for a cup of tea, Kashmiri style, and a very interesting teapot which had hot coals in the middle to keep the tea warm. After that, we all ate together, the usual Kashmiri meal. They put the rice, vegetables, and rishta, or beef balls, on a big communal plate, and everybody literally digs in. Early morning on Dal Lake, the mist rising off the water as the morning sun rises over the hills. One fantastic experience, and one of my favorite places on earth. Just beautiful, with a real nip in the air. We are in the Kashmir Valley in Srinagar on Dal Lake. This morning the only water is outside in the lake. No hot water that morning. Coming up 9 o'clock. Beautiful summer's day in Lake Dal in Kashmir. It's actually warmer outside here than it is inside.
Yeah.
Nighttime, quite cold. They had electric blanket, hot water bottle.
I had the water bottles, he had the blanket.
Took a few shots and enjoyed the wildlife and the lake literally coming to life. The fishermen catching lunch. The shikara boats crisscrossing the lake. So we enjoyed the morning before heading out into the mountains. In the mornings, the lake there is really beautiful. Nate had a chat with our boatman before we set out. Here come the man.
Gulmarg, minus 10 degrees up a gondola, and so I've got record 3 layers.
It's just really nice to relax, and I always enjoy the little trip that we have to take to get back to dry land. Beautiful Lake Dal in Kashmir, and about to go up out of the top of the clouds to Gulmarg. Our first stop was the photographic shop where they actually had a charger that fit Nate's battery. So we left the battery with them to try to charge it, and later picked it up and bought it for $25. God answered the prayer for Nate. People in the Kashmir Valley are very friendly. What a choke! What a choke! And here on the way they were selling pomegranates and plums and oranges and apples. We had a little time chatting with them. Then we headed north into the mountains where there was some amazing views. The beautiful Himalayas with Pakistan in the background.
Jammu Kashmir, it is divided into 3 provinces. One is Ladakh, another is Kashmir, third is Jammu. Ladakh, there are Buddhist dominated areas, and Kashmir is Muslim dominated, and Jammu is Hindu dominated.
Well, we'll soon be getting in a gondola and going up to the top.
This is apparently the highest place I've ever been. It's like 4,000 meters, 13,500 feet, something like that. It's a little bit short of breath, but I should be okay.
So Nate posed for the video shot.
Here we are!
Muskarao means smile. This family were a real fun family. They were from Bombay. You watch the TV and you'll be on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Animal Planet.
Okay!
We later saw them and chatted some more in the restaurant. Very Very cold up there. Then we headed back down. They have pony trekking here. Actually must try that sometime. We had a great day in Kashmir. Next morning, up early, had breakfast. Very cold, but with the sun in your face, a fantastic place to be. Lance G.
Yes, we are about to leave to Leh. We are ready, all our stuffs are in the shikara.
Last trip across the lake. And Nate gets the last shot with his new recharged battery. You can see our breath this morning, and we had a wonderful time. So far, so good. Soon, we'll be in the mountains. Loaded up the suitcases onto the vehicle that we'd hired to take us the 400 kilometers to Leh. Youssef, Lance and Makbul came with us. And we embarked on a journey that would take us through the legendary beauty of Kashmir and through the highest roads on earth to Kargil and Leh. So we said goodbye to Srinigar and headed northeast to Kargil. Good trip.
Oh, yeah, we're stopping off at the gas station, actually the diesel station, to get a Coke and some diesel, and then we're going to go up. And apparently all the roads are empty because the Prime Minister's in town and people throw stones or whatnot, so the checkpoints are heavily guarded and patrolled.
We have 400 kilometers to Leh, a couple of hundred to Kargil, and so good. This is Youssef. He has a coat of many colors, but he did not bring it today. Sri means precious, and Nagar means city. The precious city. So we set out through the foothills of the Himalayas to begin with. We began to get a taste of what the journey is going to be like as we went from west to east through the mountains. First stop, Sonamarg, which means a golden meadow. I'd love to stop here overnight sometime and ride a pony up to the glacier. We had tea and a snack outside, enjoyed the view and the beautiful scenery. Then we went up to the small village of Sonamarg, and we stopped to do a little shopping, look around. The hat is $2, rabbit fur. We then had a chat with the local people. Lance and Youssef picked up some snacks for us. The latest guidebook says it's not safe to travel here. Too many militants and too many bad roads and deep ravines. We soon passed the point where people live. beyond here the winters are too harsh. We're now getting very high, 14,000 feet upwards to 17,000 feet, with a 2,000 foot drop in many places and not even a paved road. The scenery is spectacular, way off the beaten track here. Or maybe that's what it is, a beaten track.
We came to this point and one truck is stuck, so everybody's trying to pass. So they're pulling all the trucks over to the side so they can all pass. This road goes up to 17,000 feet. Already we're at about, maybe 14. So it's pretty high in the mountains. Hopefully we'll soon be able to carry on.
This is our vehicle picking us up. We then headed toward Drass, a small township known for being the second coldest inhabited place on the planet. Only a town in Siberia is colder. And right at the side of the road, we met Kishintava. We're about 200 kilometers into the wilds of Kashmir, and there is Kishin waiting for us by the side of the road. So we enjoyed a cup of tea and a snack with them.
The three wise men, the
And
four.
one foolish.
The four wise men. The foolish man is taking the video. Yeah. This is Kishantava, who I know for many years since he was a little boy. Usually we meet in Leh. This time, for first time, we meet near Kargil, in Drass.
Then we continued to Kargil. Some amazing sights. Sadly, out of bounds to all visitors, except us. True to that, we didn't see a single foreigner for 400 kilometers in 2 days. The scenery very, very different to that which we're used to back home. The autumn trees very colorful. The camera really doesn't do them justice. The reds and golds and blue-green glacial river are breathtaking. On arriving in Kargil, we checked into the hotel and then had a look around. Did not sample the satay. I don't know why, it looked delicious. We were about to eat, I suppose that's why.
Go.
So we walked up the road and tried to find a place to eat. We said hi to the Ayatollah.
Here we are, some hungry lions waiting for the prey.
We just had the Kashmiri balls, which are called
Rishta.
rishta. And in Kashmir, the roti is called chot.
The hotel was okay. The shower was fantastic. The room filled with steam like a steam room.
We just had Ladakhi food.
We had Ladakhi food, Ladakhi cornflakes,
Which was the Ladakhi hen laying the Ladakhi egg, giving us the Ladakhi omelette.
and the Ladakhi cow gave the milk. We arrived Kargil. We decided it's too far, go all the way. So we stayed in this beautiful hotel called Siachan. And we've had the best breakfast we had so far in India.
My name is Kishan.
Then we said goodbye to Kishan and headed out of Kargil to take the 200-kilometer road through Ladakh to Leh. Ladakh was formerly the kingdom of Western Tibet, but in the 19th century was annexed to India. Geographically and culturally, it has much more in common with Tibet than with India. The scenery was very different to the first part, and very beautiful. One of the first things we encountered was a group of Gujar shepherds with their sheep and goats. They claim to have descended from Esau and still travel all over northern India through Pakistan to Afghanistan and Iran.
We're gonna mosey on up, stopping at every cool spot to take a picture like we're doing now. In the background you can see the Himalayas up there, some snow-capped mountains, and we have some rather biblical style houses which I think are pretty cool.
We stopped off in a Muslim village. First of all because there were tremendous views and I wanted to film it. But this Shia Muslim guy came out and began to talk to us.
Jesus is the Spirit of God. Muhammad
Prophet.
Muhammad is the prophet, Jesus is the Spirit.
From there we headed on. The road is really beautiful.
We're halfway through the Kargil Leh Road. A little bit dusty, but we're impressed by the sandstone, biblical style.
As we traveled east, the influence of Buddhism increased. Ladakh is traditionally 90% Buddhist, but recently there's been a great influx of Muslims into the Kargil area.
It is really cold up here. We're at Fatula, something like that. Apparently one of the last bunkers where the army is up in the mountains. It's one of the coldest places. They say after Siberia, in the winter, this is one of the coldest places on Earth. And this is where we're at. So I've decided to walk on ahead of the guys. I want to get a good shot of them coming around. So this is one of the most awesome country I've ever been to. And it's hard to breathe. And it's so interesting, all the different things you see. One thing I know, this is an awesome trip.
Right now, we're probably over 15,000 feet. It's beautiful sunshine. The sky is blue, but it is very, very cold. It's probably below zero right now.
The views are amazing. The hills and valleys, spectacular. Ladakh is also known as the last Shangri-La, Moonscape, and Little Tibet.
This trip has been absolutely amazing. The views, the camera can never catch it. The views all the way, every corner, every bend, everywhere we went is just amazing. And different scenery and just blows the mind.
Hours worth of traveling over 2 days. Beautiful country, amazing stuff to see, but boy am I glad to have arrived, settled down and be at the Lassembourg.
This is the view from the hotel room. I love the view from the houseboat in Srinigar, but this is different, but still a great view. 20 to 9 in the morning, we have not been able to reach Hussein yet. We've had a nice cup of coffee, we've had cornflakes on the belt to have some Indian egg.
Catch me huffing and puffing.
Beautiful clear skies. A temperature of 0, colder at night, a little warmer in the day. The Shanti Stupa in the background. We just basked in the sunshine and enjoyed the morning. The air is so clear and clean, and though it's short on oxygen, it's still tremendous, especially for the photography. We then made our usual visit to Shanti Stupa.
Okay.
The Lama there is an old friend.
Beautiful day. Beautiful day. How are you? Your health good?
Akasetike. The shots there are always great. The sky so clear and blue. And this is probably as good a day as we've ever had there.
Temple is probably.
This is Leh, the snow-capped mountains, the poplar trees, the blue skies, and the almost lunar landscape behind.
Okay, this is the Shanti Stupa in Leh. And what Shanti Stupa actually means is the word Shanti is peace, and Stupa is what you see behind this tower-like structure. Now, a stupa is actually more like a time capsule, which holds relics of the Buddha, some holy Dharma books, as well as statues of Buddha, and they're kept there for future generations to enjoy. Back in the 80s, a Japanese Buddhist came over here and was invited by the people of Leh to create this, and with the financial backing of the people around, they created this. And in 1985, the Dalai Lama came and inaugurated it.
From there we went into the town and visited the Moravian coffee shop, where we had the tallest espresso in the world. Did a little shopping, had a look at the palace, bargained for a shawl, and then went out with Sonam to visit the Shea Palace, which is the old capital of Ladakh, but now in ruins. The Thikse monastery is close by. This shot is a well-known shot that gets into all the guidebooks. Then we went back to the Shanti Stupa for some last shots as the sun set. It gets cold when the sun goes down, but we had a fantastic time. It's really been great to have Nate along on this trip. Though I've been here many times, it's different. It's like I'm able to see the place through somebody else's eyes almost, and the people that we meet and encounter, maybe people I've met many times and seen them many times. For Nate, it was a first time. I think in India especially, these two places are two of my favorite places, together with Himachal Pradesh. And so to be able to take Nate and have him on the boat in Dal Lake in Srinigar, and then wake up in the Lassamore Hotel in Leh overlooking the snow-capped mountains, they're special things. To eat the food, to fellowship with the people, to absorb the culture, have all been very special on this trip. Very early next morning, flew back to New Delhi. First stop was snack in the Big Chill, the best place in town.
We're in the Big Chill and about to have some nice baked chicken with mozzarella and tomato sauce and Khan Market in South Delhi. Nathan's trying to buy some apricot, dried apricot, and they charge him double. It's because he looks like a rich man.
Very nice place, the Khan Market.
Yeah. This is 300 grams.
So I got 9 of these.
9 of these.
125 for 125? Yeah.
About 20 Hong Kong.
For one? Yeah.
After that, a coat for Nate, and a last look around before taking Nate out to India Gate to do the tourist bit before heading back to the airport. We were near the Connaught Circuit, so I said to Nate, let's go see the Imperial Hotel. This is where Nate had stayed on his last trip to India. It's been renovated and is now absolutely beautiful. They've really made it great.
I remember what this place used to look like. I remember the big, huge white walls, tall ceilings, being a little bit dark, and now it's completely different.
From there to the airport with a memory. Really just a few days in India. But wow, what we did in just a few days. From the experiences of Kashmir and Dal Lake, up in the mountains, enjoying the scenery, having fun, meeting people, seeing amazing sights on the way, meeting Muslims and Buddhists, seeing scenery that most people never see the likes of in a lifetime. one amazing trip. So this was Nate in India, and he'll probably never forget it.